Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the phalanges of the toes, and we would discuss about the points that are of practical importance to the students in the practical examination. First of all, phalanges in the Unani terminology are known as sulemya. There are 14 phalanges in each foot, and they are also found in our hands also. There are 28 phalanges in both feet and hands, and we are discussing here about the phalanges of the toes. First of all, these 14 phalanges, they are actually arranged in a group. In each toes, in four toes, they are arranged in the group of three, and in the great toe you can see here, in the great toe the phalanges are arranged in the group of two phalanges. Actually, in the great toe you would find there are only two phalanges. One is the proximal phalanges, another is the distal phalanges, but other four toes in which the phalanges are arranged in the group of three, and you can just arranged in phalanges, and these are also called as the bones of your toes also. And here the first number of the phalanges, that is known as actually the proximal phalanx, and the proximal phalanx is the first phalanx actually, that connects to the metatarsal bone, and the second phalanx, that is called the middle phalanx, and the third phalanx, that is the distal phalanx. So you can see these the arrangement of these phalanx that are found in the number of, in the group of in a group that is of 3 in numbers. So you can easily find out. First of all, the phalanges of the foot, they should be they should be distinguished from the phalanges of the hand also, because there are same number of the phalanges that are also found in our hand also, and they are most similar to our the phalanges that are found in the foot also. First of all, if you want to just distinguish the identify the given specimen, you have to just distinguish it from the phalanges of the phalanges of the toes. Basically, they are much smaller as compared to the phalanges that are found in our hand, where the phalanges are bigger as compared to the phalanges that are found in our foot. And apart from it, the phalanges of the foot that has bases that are broader as compared to the bases that are found in the phalanges of the hand. The phalanx the bases of the phalanges of the foot are broader, and you can actually see the shaft of the phalanges of the toe, that is compressed from side to side. So these are the distinguishing features that you should know. First of all, you have to just distinguish whether the given specimen of the phalanges are of hand or foot, or basically these are the phalanges that form the toe or fingers. So these are the point that you should keep in your mind. The in the distal in the great toe, you can find only two type of phalanx, that is the proximal phalanx and another the distal phalanx. And in other toes you can find the phalanx are arranged in the group of three. There is a proximal phalanx, another is the middle phalanx, and the distal phalanx. First of all, we have to just recognize which one is the we have to distinguish the proximal phalanx to the middle phalanx and the distal phalanx. The proximal phalanx is much bigger as compared to the middle and the distal phalanx. So these are the distinguishing point. And every the proximal phalanx actually, in every digit or great toe, Basically, uh, these phalanx are actually the little, the smaller, the miniature long bone. They are the long bone. They have two ends and the intervening shaft, and you have to just recognize the which end is the proximal end, which end is the distal end. The proximal end, that is a concave end, and that is going to be connected to the head of the metatarsal bone. It has got the concave base. So you can identify base because of it is having the concave depression, and this concave depression, that is going to be that is going to be connected with the head of the metatarsal bone, and it would form the joint, and we would call it the metatarso phalangeal joint. And now you can recognize in every proximal phalanx, the base is actually, uh, this is the broader, and it is a concave, and it is going to be connected with the head of the metatarsal bone. Now you have to just recognize the head of the proximal phalanx. And how would you recognize it? The head of the phalanx actually, that is having the notched appearance, and this notched trochlear appearance, and this is the identifying feature of the distal end, or actually the head of the distal end of the first phalanx, proximal phalanx actually. And it is having the notched appearance and the trochlear surface, and this trochlear surface is going to be connected, you can see this is the distal end of the proximal phalanx, and you can also call it the head of the proximal phalanx. It has a you can, if you can see the notched appearance, this is the trochlear appearance, and this trochlear appearance is only find in the distal head actually. And by these features you can identify which is the base and which is the head is having the trochlear appearance. Now after just recognizing the proximal phalanx, and you have to just recognize the uh, middle phalanx is much smaller as compared to the distal proximal phalanx. And one of the point that is we have just forgot about the proximal phalanx, that is actually this this is the dorsal surface of every phalanx actually, that is having convexity, whether it is a proximal and the middle and the distal. The dorsal surface of the phalanx is actually proximal, oh sorry, this is convex, and the plantar surface, you can see it is a concave. First, so you have to just recognize the which surface is the dorsal surface and which surface is the plantar surface. The dorsal surface is convex and the plantar surface is concave. And now we are just discussing about the middle phalanx. The middle phalanx, and how it is much smaller as compared to the proximal phalanx, but the difference here is actually it is broader as compared to the proximal phalanx, but it is a much shorter, but it is broad. Its shaft is broader as compared to the shaft of the proximal phalanx. And what would be the base of this middle phalanx? The base of the middle phalanx is actually, it is a bigger, and it is going to be connected with the it is going to be connected with the head of the proximal phalanx. And this is the identifying feature. You can see the middle phalanx is smaller as compared to the proximal phalanx, and but its shaft is more broader as compared to the proximal phalanx. Now we would come to the distal phalanx, and both middle phalanx and the actually proximal phalanx would form a joint, and these joints are called as the interphalangeal joints. It is the first interphalangeal joint. The another, the distal interphalangeal joint, that is made between the middle phalanx and the distal phalanx. The farthest phalanx, you would see that is the distal phalanx. And distal phalanx, and how would you recognize it? And this is the shortest, type of the phalanx you would find in your toes actually. And what would be its base and what would be its head, and you can easily see what would be its base. Base is actually the broadest end of the distal phalanx, that would form the base actually, base of the distal phalanx. And this broadest base, that would connect to the that would accommodate the head of the middle phalanx, and it would form a joint with the middle phalanx, that is the distal or second interphalangeal joint. And the proximal end of the distal phalanx, it is a tapering. It is a tapering, and it is narrowed as compared to this basal part, the base of the distal phalanx. So with these identifications, you would be able to identify whether the given phalanges are of toes, especially of foot, or the hands. And first of all, we should just distinguish it from the phalanges of the hands and the phalanges of the toes. And after that, we should just know the features that would help you in just recognizing the proximal phalanx, middle phalanx, and the distal phalanx. And we have just actually made you to understand what are the points that you should keep while determining the proximal, middle, and the distal phalanx. This is all about the phalanges of the foot. Thank you.